Center would probably be not the ideal place for you unless you wore earplugs. According to our communications specialist, Dr. Lillian, earplugs should be more common as personal accessories. They should be like sunglasses to us. That's kind of an amazing statement for you to make.
Well,
what is noise pollution?
Basically, noise pollution can be anything. It's anything that interrupts the normal flow of your activity, and many times it produces stress, and it can interfere with hearing as well. But earplugs are just one way to combat noise pollution. There are many other ways.
But do we know, a lot of times background noises or any kind of noise, we get so used to it that we probably don't realize that the noise is there in the first place. So therefore, when do we wear earplugs and how do we understand how to deal with all of this?
Well, if
like traffic noise and things like that, you're so used to them, they just fade away, but they're there.
Right, and they do produce stress. And there have been a lot of studies that have been done that show a high correlation between noise pollution and stress. And it's absolutely fascinating to see that because it interferes with mental health as well as physical health. There have been studies that have shown there's a high correlation of insomnia, heart disease, high blood pressure as a result of noise pollution in our society. And noise pollution isn't something that just came about right now. Julius Caesar, as a matter of fact, was said to have hated the clatter of chariots.
Oh dear.
And George Bernard Shaw hated vacuum cleaners, which was rather interesting. But it's been subject to laboratory and field studies since 1930. And in fact, in 1927, there was a acoustical physicist by the name of Vern Knudsen, and he said that noise is a slow agent of death. And what he meant by this was that increased noise can produce a lot of stress on the body, which in turn could produce physical ailment.
Of course, in a lot of occupations, whether you're a driller, construction worker, whatever, those people, by law, sometimes have to wear earplugs of some kind to keep out that noise.
That's a good point.
But what about those of us who are not aware of this? How do we go about fighting it?
Well, first of all, we can do quite a bit. There's different types of noise pollution. There's internal noise, which is the noise in our environment, for example, stereos, appliances, things of that nature. And there's also external noise that we really have little control of, so to speak. But there is control going on right now. For example, airport noise.
Right.
Now barriers are being built against airports.
Exactly.
In various countries throughout the world, traffic's being rerouted. A lot of night traffic isn't
Noise
being
abatement.
done. Right, so there's a lot that's being done. A lot of legislation is passing with regard to noise pollution. Now, earplugs are just one type of
Wouldn't you wear them all the time? You wouldn't hear anybody if they were talking.
Of course not. But if there's nothing you can do about the noise and it is irritating to you, they're good. But there are other aspects when we talk about
the noise is there and it's bothering you.
Right. You can also control your own noise pollution because yelling is a form of noise pollution, believe it or not. In fact, in urban cities, there have been a great high incidence of child beatings, for example, and also learning disabilities around freeways, airports, and this has been related to the impact of constant noise.
So noise and stress go together, so I guess if you know that you live near a freeway and airport, get the earplugs. So maybe we can talk to you about this a little bit later because we've still got a lot to say, but we're out of time. Dr. Glass, thank you so much. Okay. Jerry, can you hear us? Oh, we're not supposed to yell. Back to you.
As a matter of fact, get out those earplugs because we'll need them in some parts of San Francisco.